Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. I can't believe that I am filled with this much energy. This feels like this was Christmas Day, but in April. Guys, I have been up for 26 hours. I just ended my 24-hour Nintendo Direct live stream. I am speechless. I wasn't expecting everything that we just got. We have a lot, and I mean a lot of information to go over when it comes to the Nintendo Switch 2. Presentation literally just ended. I posted some reactions if y'all want to check that out, but we need to talk about my impressions of this Direct, talk about the things that were shown off. There's so much here. What in the world? How is this possible? This is literally the best Nintendo Direct we have ever had. Let's get right into it. I'm losing my voice, guys. I've been talking for 24 hours. It's understandable. So no one in the comments be like, Max, what's wrong with your voice? Mario Kart World. We had speculated that this was most likely the Nintendo Switch 2 launch title, and it is. And it unexpectedly is going to have the racing that we're used to, and then it has open world. What? This is the perfect thing to add into Mario Kart, especially with how advanced they're going with these courses, with the home world tour. This game looks absolutely phenomenal. Dude, I'm speechless. They showed so much of that, and we're getting a Mario Kart Direct. I believe it was April 17th. It's confirmed to be coming out June 5th with the Nintendo Switch 2. At the point of this recording, they didn't talk about price points of the games, but I'm assuming this is a $70 game. This is a day one buy for me with the Switch 2. This is absolutely incredible. I didn't think I was going to be excited for Mario Kart. Like, I thought I was going to be like, oh, this is exciting. But this, I'm like actually really, really pumped for this. This is something I just did not expect Nintendo to do with the Mario Kart series. Seems like they're really wanting to take a page out of Forza, but still keep that Mario Kart originality to it still. So you'll still have the original gameplay of Mario Kart that you're used to, plus this open world thing. I think this is going to open the doors to really unique online experiences. They've announced that they're bringing back like that Nintendo DS local communications thing where you could like play the game for free if you were using like local connections. If you guys remember that DS feature, you could play like Mario Kart DS, all sorts of Nintendo DS games. They're bringing it to the Nintendo Switch 2. I feel like this might be coming to the Switch 1, but they didn't announce it because it was a Switch 2 presentation, but that's coming at some point, and it's going to be a very few select games available to this. The only thing they showed off at this feature was like 5 Switch games. They did say Switch 2 games will eventually be able to do this, but that'll be later down the road. They went ahead and finally announced what the C button was. There was a lot of speculation of what this C button was. It's basically a voice chat command key that is like Nintendo Discord, that you can like share your screen, do voice calls. Very un-Nintendo. I'm surprised to see something like this, but the layout looks very Discord inspired. You could share your screen, which was like running at 2 frames per second. I feel like that was a terrible thing that they showed off, if I'm being honest. I know that's a big deal for a lot of people because the Nintendo Switch Online app was absolutely horrible. Because that was the only way you could communicate officially, was using the app on your phone and keep your home screen on as you're using. And then they're selling a Nintendo Switch 2 camera, and I think this is interesting because I feel like Nintendo is going to try to get back into the VR scene. Nintendo has always been interested in the VR scene, and I highly, highly, highly doubt they would release a camera just for this voice call system. Does not make sense to me, and I expect we're going to see more with this camera within the next few years. They also announced that the Switch 2 is coming out June 5th. I said June 5th. I told everyone, very confident in June 5th. There it was, June 5th. And the price point of recording of this video, it's not official yet, but there's things to indicate through articles and stuff that it's going to be $450, which is a weird number, but with the amount of stuff this system can do, makes sense, because I was not expecting, like you could do certain games up to 120 frames per second. I wasn't expecting that from Nintendo. HDR is included with it, another thing that I really wasn't expecting. Nintendo never really cares about this stuff, so I was very surprised to see this. So if they want to charge an extra $50 to $100 than what I'm expecting for that type of stuff, feel free. I'm totally fine with it. Now here comes some parts that I am concerned about with the Nintendo Switch 2. One of those things is they did show off a new game that is basically a tutorial of how to use your system. It's going to be digital only, and you are going to have to pay for this. My issue with this is literally a tutorial of how to use your console. How are you going to pay and charge to show how to use the system? This also makes me feel like there's not going to be a manual inside of the console, that you're going to be forced to buy this digital game with however much you're going to charge for it, which is probably 20 to 30 bucks. It launches day one and it's not even a game. It literally is just showing you how to use your system, at least from what they showed us. This is the part that I was really concerned about, that a lot of people didn't like, that I was concerned about in the stream because I streamed my reaction. I am worried about this Nintendo Switch 2 edition. I was under the impression that I kind of thought Nintendo would be doing a lot of free updates to this. However, really seems with what we have seen, well, we know that it to be the case that they are going to charge for this Nintendo Switch 2 edition. They showed off a few games that are going to be getting updates. You have Kirby Forgotten Land, you have Mario Party Jamboree, you have Tears of the Kingdom and Breath of the Wild. I think they showed off Meteoroid Prime 4 is getting a Switch 2 edition, and Pokemon Legends ZA. They said all of these games are getting physical releases for each console, and they said if you already own this game on the Switch 1, you can buy this little card to get the upgraded Switch 2 version. Nintendo did not say what the price was for it. However, this is not a good thing. Everyone in the comments of my stream was like, well, if PlayStation could do it, why can't Nintendo? Well, PlayStation really shouldn't have been doing it in the first place. I can't believe we're seeing Nintendo do this, and it does concern me. And if this is more than $10, I'm really, really concerned, because the way I see it is Nintendo, to be completely honest with y'all, they get pretty lazy with this type of stuff. They might be doing really cool things with these Switch 2 editions. However, I could see like 1 to 2 years from now, they doing the bare minimum and charge $20 to $30 for the updated version. I was not a fan of this, and I'm really, really concerned about what the future of this is going to be, because I could see this being a really bad thing for Nintendo fans. But like I said, they're trying to do things, but I still think this should be a free update. I don't think people really want extra content. They just want to be able to play these games at 60 frames per second, 120. That's all you need. Just put a free update of that. We don't need the extra content that you're putting in Jamboree and Kirby and the Forgotten Land. Like, who is asking for extra content of Forgotten Land? Just put that time and effort into a new game. I'm worried about it. Maybe I'm overreacting. Maybe I'll feel better about it when we find out the price, but even if it's $10, I still think that this is something we don't need. But we got the confirmation that Meteoroid Prime 4 is indeed a cross-gen title. I told you all. They showed off a new IP. I'm gonna be completely honest with y'all, I forgot the name of it. Give me a break, I've been up for 25, 26 hours, something crazy like that. It is a wheelchair basketball game that is going to be coming out in the summer. I think this is gonna be Nintendo's big summer game that they're really gonna really promote with Mario Kart. And I think they're gonna hope that this is a big new IP for them, kind of like something that ARMS and Splatoon was. Which I guess ARMS might not have been as big as they wanted, but it still did big numbers. Then they showed off some third-party games. Elden Ring was confirmed. We had speculated for the longest time if this game was coming to the Switch 2, and it was the first third-party game they showed. It looks like it's going to have all the DLC into this, and it's going to come out in 2025. I was expecting when Capcom came on the stream, they're going to be like, Monster Hunter Wilds, now coming to the Nintendo Switch 2. But no, they threw something out that I really was not expecting. Street Fighter 6. It's a year 1 through 2 edition that's going to have the DLC. And on top of that, it's going to have amiibo coming out for it. 3 Street Fighter 6 amiibos. I was not expecting that at all. Third-party companies really didn't make many amiibo. I think Bandai Namco, Yacht Club Games. That might be it. The only companies that really utilize that other than like Smash Bros and stuff. So that's kind of cool. And Diablo. Yeah, I think that's literally it. So good to see that Amiibo is alive and well going into the Switch 2. It was funny, I jokingly said this in the 24-hour live stream that Damon X Machia was going to be on today's presentation, and it was. It's coming out September something. I didn't play the first game. I'm kind of surprised they had it here. I know Nintendo published the first one, but I don't think they have anything to do with the second one, so it wasn't a big hit for them, but who knows? Who knows? Maybe this will be a bigger deal. Oh man, this one was super exciting. Split Fiction. Me and my good friend Luke, we just finished that game. Obviously, it takes two to review that game. Luke gave it a half a star, but I gave it a 9.5. If you combined our review, it's a 10 star, so both me and Luke really loved the game, and I'm happy to see this on the Switch 2. And I'm pretty sure they said it's coming out day one, but they didn't show that it was coming out day one. I'm just going off the comments that Joseph Fares was saying, which I think this is actually a really cool game to put on the Switch 2, because I feel like it shows the type of power this system is. The fact that you can get this on the Switch 2, that type of game, I think is really a big deal, because it's not even on PS4 and Xbox One. They went ahead and announced FIFA was going to be on the Switch 2. We knew that was happening, but the one we weren't sure about was Madden, and they did announce that Madden is coming to the Switch. We have not seen Madden on a Nintendo platform since, I want to say, the Wii U. So, and I think there's like one Wii U Madden game. So yeah, the Nintendo support for that has been pretty low. So I know that's a big deal for a lot of people. It's not for me, but I feel like I gotta talk about it. And this is where I get worried again about this Nintendo Switch 2 edition. They announced that Hogwarts Legacy was coming to the Switch 2, but if you go back to how it was announced, they didn't call it a Nintendo Switch 2 edition. In fact, the logo that they showed at the Switch 2 Direct this morning had nothing indicating a Switch 2 edition. So what that tells me is that they're going to sell Hogwarts Legacy again to Switch 2 players, or to Switch 1 players, and might not even be a free update. You might just have to buy the whole game again. I think this is really concerning, and I'm really worried to see where this is going to lead for both first-party and third-party games. They announced that the Hitman game is coming to the Switch 2. I don't know too much about it, but then I also got confused because I thought this was them announcing a DLC, and I'm still confused because my chat was confused. Also, they were saying DLC, and then it said new game, all that type of stuff. But the people that's doing this Hitman game showed off something with James Bond. People are thinking it might be a new game or that James Bond is coming to Hitman. I don't know, but I guess it's a big deal. We had wondered if this was ever going to happen. There's a lot of speculation. Bravely Default was here. The first game is being remastered to the Nintendo Switch 2. I know Bravely Default's kind of getting bigger, and I know those games are loved by people, so it kind of makes sense to put it, but wasn't expecting it here at a presentation this big. Yakuza 0 is confirmed to be coming to the Nintendo Switch 2, and it seemed like the director indicated that there's going to be more Yakuza coming to the Nintendo Switch 2, which is pretty nice because I know the last Yakuza game that's on the Switch kind of had some frame rate issues, so I'm thinking these next few games are going to look and run really well if it's going to the Switch 2. Then Nintendo came in. I will say this Direct, I feel like Nintendo, if I was the one editing this, I would have started with third party, then saved the Nintendo first party stuff towards the end. But they threw first party in the middle of third party. It's kind of weird. But hey, whatever works for them works, I guess. They showed off a game that I really was not expecting, but if you think about it, does make sense. A brand new Hyrule Warriors game that's going to lead right before Tears of the Kingdom. I know people are going to be like, oh, but what about an actual Zelda game? I don't think we're getting an actual Zelda game on this system for at least 2 years. Tears of the Kingdom just came out, what, like 2 years ago almost? They developed that game for a long time. I don't think you're getting a mainline Zelda till 2 to 3 years of the system. And Hyrule Warriors is kind of like that perfect game that you can advertise as like a Zelda game, because that's what they did with Age of Calamity. They're like, oh, this is like the prequel to Breath of the Wild. You must play it. And they kind of like convinced people that it was a Zelda game. And to have a Zelda game coming out within the first year, even though it's a Hyrule Warriors, Dynasty Warriors type of gameplay, it's going to do really well for them, and it makes sense to have this with that type of storyline. I really did not think this was going to happen. I thought this might happen in the future, But at the same time, I was like, I don't see this happening. I think Nintendo is going to re-release a lot of these games. But I was proven wrong, and this is going to be available day one on the Nintendo Switch 2. You are going to be able to play GameCube games day one. They showed Wind Waker, F-Zero Online, GX, Soul Calibur. They announced that Pokemon XD Gale of Darkness is coming soon, Fire Emblem, Pokemon Coliseum. I think this is really exciting because I think it's going to bring the GameCube games down in value so people can start buying these games again and I can continue my GameCube collecting series. I'm really pumped to have this feature on the Switch 2. I really loved using my Steam Deck for this feature, but now that it's coming to an official Nintendo console, might be doing that more on the Switch now than my Steam Deck. I'm putting this in here. I don't know too much about this other than it's either the prequel or sequel to Undertale. I beat Undertale, but I've not touched Deltarune. However, I know Deltarune's a very big deal for a lot of people, and they announced that chapters 1 through 4 will be available day one on Nintendo Switch 2. I think it's a big deal that chapter 3 and 4 is coming out. I don't know anything about this, but again, my job is to deliver you the biggest stuff that came out of this, and this was a big deal for a lot of people. They showed Borderlands 4 coming to the Switch 2, which I was like, it is what it is. I mean, I guess that's a big deal, big game. It sounds like it's going to come out with all the other platforms, so I guess that's nice. 2K was also there. They announced that they're having 2K basketball, of course, and then that WWE 2K is coming to the Switch 2. I think it would have been funny if they were like, don't worry guys, this will be an actual good WWE game. But they didn't say anything like that. I was expecting Rockstar Games to come right after it because 2K owns them. That's why they're called Take-Two Interactive. But Rockstar was not here, which I thought was interesting because Red Dead Redemption 2 is heavily rumored for this system. And this is when the stream broke. Somehow the live stream broke on Twitch, YouTube, everywhere. And we were left not seeing these next two big announcements. And there might have been more. We couldn't hear the audio. But we know that Cyberpunk 2077 is coming to the Switch 2, which the time of this recording I have not seen because the stream messed up. I don't even know when it's coming out if they mentioned, but I know that was mentioned, and I know right after it was Final Fantasy VII Remake being confirmed for the Switch 2, which I wanted to see gameplay because Nintendo reportedly used that game a lot to show off to investors of how powerful the system was. But again, the system broke. The stream, we did not see these games. We heard part of the audio, and that is it. My chat was saying that Final Fantasy VII Remake was confirmed to be a day one release, but we weren't able to hear of Cyberpunk when it was coming out. Silk Song was shown, which I thought was interesting because I thought Xbox owned the marketing rights to that, but they showed a little bit of footage and they announced that it's coming out 2025. That's all we got. We had this new game from Software that I think is an exclusive to the Switch 2. Everyone was thinking it was Bloodborne, which was going to be really funny that a Sony exclusive ended up on Nintendo exclusive, but I already forgot what it was called. A new IP from Software. It's going to have multiplayer. People was going crazy. 2026. And then this next one I was not expecting. Like literally very interesting. And I'm curious what this means for another game series. But Kirby Air Ride 2 got announced and it's coming out this year for the Switch 2. We had no gameplay footage. That might be the holiday title. I know they showed Hyrule Warriors coming off into holiday 2025. But with the fact that we had no gameplay footage of Kirby Air Ride, I think they're going to be pushing that game heavily as a holiday title as well. However, Masahiro Sakurai is working on this game, which does have a lot of people wondering, what does this mean for Smash Bros? Because Nintendo tends to like to get those games out as early as possible. I think that Smash Bros is going to take at least, from this point, I'm going to say 2 to 3 years. Bandai Namco does a lot of the development now for Smash Bros. Sakurai is still a big part of Smash Bros, but Bandai is doing a lot of the work now. So I feel like Smash Bros is still being developed. I think you could see Smash Bros still late next year, early 2027. But Kirby Air Ride 2 is super exciting. I know a lot of people are going to be very happy about that. And that was one that literally no one was expecting. Nintendo did such a good job of hiding the games, but they didn't do a good job of hiding the hardware. But we literally had no idea about the games. And then Nintendo ended it off with what we thought was going to be a new 3D Mario game. That was going to be like the big holiday title, but then it was Donkey Kong. They made a brand new 3D Donkey Kong game. Donkey Kong Banzana? Was that what it was called? I don't remember. July 17th. Absolutely crazy. I thought this was the holiday title, especially since they were saving it at the very end, because they made it seem like Kirby Air Ride 2 was the last game they were showing off, and they're like, no, no, no. Donkey Kong. This game looks absolutely phenomenal. I think the Odyssey team is the one that's developing this. Looking at it graphically and visually, it gives so much Odyssey vibes. And I'm very excited for this. That means we're getting Mario Kart and a big new 3D Donkey Kong game within a month of the system. This is going to be a great system for Nintendo. I think this is the best Direct we have ever gotten. I would give this a 10 out of 10. I was very satisfied. This satisfied me everywhere. I got completely unexpected things happen. I mean, we thought maybe a new Donkey Kong, but Kirby Air Ride 2, no one could have expected that. New Hyrule Warriors. I loved Hyrule Warriors. I love both of them. So my editor hates this Direct. I don't think he's buying a Switch 2 now because of this Direct, but I really like this. I don't see why people would hate this Direct. I'm trying to look at it from their point of view, but I thought Nintendo crushed this, and I'm excited for the Switch 2. We'll be there in New York. I want to say thank you to everyone that showed up to the live stream. We almost broke, well, we broke our record a few times of most viewers we've ever had on a stream, and y'all went crazy on the super chats on that stream. So I want to thank every single one of y'all that donated towards that stream, because all that money is going to go towards our Nintendo Switch 2 launch trip to New York City. We'll be there every day filming for a week. It's going to be great, man. It's going to be great. But guys, I've been talking for way too much. I quite literally have. I am losing my voice right now, and I'm very tired. I've been up for a long time. I think I've deserved a few hours sleep for sure. I think. Thank y'all for all the support. I hope y'all enjoy these videos. Make sure to check out our reactions if you haven't, and I hope y'all have a wonderful night. Make sure to backslash that subscribe button, like the video, check out the Twitter, check out the Discord, Instagram, all that good stuff. I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace. Whew, that's a wrap. I don't know if I'm ever going to do a 24-hour live stream again, but it was very fun. Very fun. My voice is gone, though.